Imagine if you could capture contact requests, create interactive quizzes, generate leads, poll your audience, sell event tickets and registration, promote physical products, provide quotes, and even add branded evaluations to your online courses, all with one software. Well, you can, with Typeform. You get a gorgeous, smooth interface that keeps people engaged. You can make your questions pop with images, GIFs, and video. You can say hello with a customizable welcome screen by adding images and videos. Simple analytics give you quick insights. Logic jumps to make each Typeform smarter and more personal. Easily embed your Typeforms into your website or LMS. Built-in Google Sheets and over 500 integrations. You can send automatic, personalized email responses to those who complete the forms. Allow respondents to upload any kind of file to a form and even accept online payments right on your forms. So let's get started, and if anyone joins us, they will join us. Today we are talking about interactive forms, how to be able to use them. We're specifically going to talk about Typeform because Typeform is one of the only interactive forms that I have found that has multi-purposes. So when I choose a software, I like it to have multiple purposes, not just one, because as you know, the costs of doing business online are, can get a little high. Nothing compared to brick and mortar, but certainly, if you can choose software programs that have multiple uses, that's best case scenario. So when I'm choosing a software program, I try and choose one that I can do many, many things with it. And Typeform is certainly one that I've invested in for about 5 years now. And I have no regrets at all. I've used it for all kinds of things. I am going to do a screen share. I started doing some use case ideas, how I would, or how I have, or how I would, or possibilities for using Typeform. So lead generation is the first one I've got on here. And lead generation could be on a website. It could be on your Thinkific site. It could be on a web page. You could use it for any kind of lead generation that you wanted to. Second use case would be a product order form. So lots of people are, sell books or products along with their courses. And so in order to really do that properly, you have to integrate some other kind of software. So you could use Gumroad, or you could use a variety of other softwares, but that's one of the sort of multi-use cases that Typeform can do. So you can actually plunk an order form, product order form, right within your course and take payment independently through Typeform. So that you then have the information to send them what you need to send them. So I like that use case because there's a lot of course creators who are doing that. Providing an online quote. So if you're also doing services, so for instance, I do services and I sell courses. And so you can use this for online quotes, and I do this all the time. I actually have that on my website, a Typeform that's just embedded that I can offer online quotes. A course evaluation. So this is in every course that I have a customized course evaluation. If you use the sort of survey or quiz within Thinkific, first of all, it doesn't have logic jumps, so you can't jump to a different section based on their answer. And also you have to go in and pull those reports. You don't get those immediately. If there's a problem and someone's got something nasty to say about a course, I want to know right now. I don't want to wait till Friday when I pull the report and I find out that there was something that they really didn't like or something wrong with the course in their opinion. Scenarios, and Karen, I actually thought about you when I was thinking about this. Hold on, let me pull this up. Oh, so true. Scenarios, and Karen, you were in my mind when I was thinking about this one. So, in your reactive dog course, for instance, we always want to put activities into a course of some kind. We want them to implement something. We want them to practice something. So I was thinking, something like this could be a video embedded in your Typeform that basically shows the scenario. And remember those choose your own adventure books where it sort of gives you a scenario and then you have to choose this, this, or this. So you could do that with Typeform. You could say, you know, at this point, what would you do? A, B, or C. And based on their answer, it could take them to a different part of the form. So if they chose A and A was possibility, but not the best option, you could actually take them to a section of Typeform that then said, although you could do this, this would be a better option. And you could actually even have a video on that section as well, saying, here's your best option, and showing them what their best option was. So scenario-based cases. So it gets your students involved. Having those scenarios available kind of cuts down on the time that you actually would need to do one-on-one with them, because it's very scenario-based, it's video-based, but based on their answer, you can give them the right way to proceed. And it allows them to sort of practice that scenario in their head. It lets them think through the process without necessarily having to live through it. Exactly. Thank you for putting that in words. That's exactly what I was getting at. Okay. Next one, filtering potential students. So this is something that Giovanna and I had talked about on a live stream or an Ask Us Anything or something a few weeks ago. And that was filtering potential students. And this is actually something I'm considering for my site, because you don't know what you don't know. So when you have a student come to your Thinkific site and then you ask them to choose from 6 courses, that can be overwhelming and it can be a barrier to entry. So you could have an embedded Typeform on the homepage of your Thinkific site. Don't know where to start? Start here. And lead them through a series of questions. And based on their answers, you can present the best option to them. You can use the calculator function in Typeform to sort of score their answers and then present them the button to go through to the course that best suits them. And then they're going to have the best, chance of conversion. So if you're running multiple courses, being able to filter potential students this way can decrease the barrier to entry and increase conversions. Accepting donations for courses. So this is not something that Thinkific does by proxy or that most LMSs do. But in the case of Typeform, you can actually take payment right on Typeform. It integrates with Stripe, and you can accept donations. So you can ask them what they want to pay for this course. And I know a lot of course creators have asked me how to do that. They've got a low price course, but they want people to choose how much they want to pay for it. And you can do that in Typeform. And I've got an example I'm going to show you guys of that. And taking payment in multiple currencies. So again, Giovanna was talking about, needing to explain on the sales page that it was, in their currency, but then in Thinkific, you can only charge in one currency across your whole site. So with Typeform, you could actually, instead of taking payment through Thinkific, you could take payment through Typeform. So maybe at the bottom of a sales page, you have 3 buttons. One says, pay in Canadian, pay in US, or, pay in euros. And each of those buttons would lead to a separate Typeform that would then take payment in that currency. And then you could automatically enroll them through Zapier into your Thinkific course. So those are just a few of the scenarios that I've come up with. There's a ton more. So let's dive into a couple of the sort of test ones that I created to kind of show you how to do this. And then we could build one, potentially for those scenario-based interactive activity for one of your courses, let's say. So this is what Typeform looks like for those of you who haven't seen it. Up here on the top is just all of your account settings and your billings and so on. And then you have what are called workspaces. So I have, everything for Brainy Girl, which is different than Brainy Girl U. So this is all my service-based business Typeforms. So this is where I did a customer feedback for an instructional design course that we're launching. New content requests. I do my applications for contractors with Typeform. A workshop survey, client satisfaction survey. So there's and then how can we help? This is on my website. So this is a website inquiry form. So you can basically separate this however you want. So I've got this one here used within courses. So these are all my Typeforms that are used within my actual courses. And then I have Workspaces set up for several of my contractors. I've got inactive forms, and then I've got one specifically for Brainy Girl You. So you can kind of divide up your workspaces into folders, which helps it, you know, keep it a little filterable and easy to find. So for this one, I'm just going to go to inactive forms here. I've got a bunch of inactive forms that I've used in the past, but I don't necessarily want to get rid of. So I just move them into inactive forms because I might want to use them again or alter them in some way. Okay, so let's look at this donation one first. So I've only added a couple of questions. You have to remember with Typeform, there's so much that you can do that I can't even show you everything that you can do. So I want to show you a few of the things that you can do though. So for this particular example, you've got all of your, this is where we build the form here. This is where we design it on the left-hand side. And this is just basically how we want it to look. We can customize it to our own fonts, you know, question colors, answer colors, button colors, background. If we want to add a background image, we can do that as well. And then you can also save that for future for your theme. So if you go under My Themes, you're going to see that I have one for the VA Success Academy, which was an older business that I had, one for Brainy Gal, right? I've got a whole bunch of different ones in here. So I've just saved them so I can use that same theme for design or branding purposes in future. Here's your logic jump. So this is where you can say, if they answer A to this question, I want to take them to statement 3. This is the logic jump piece of it. This is the calculator piece. So this is how you can score them and give them a particular next step based on their total score. Here's your email notification. So when someone submits a form, I can choose to have a notification sent to my email or anyone else's email immediately. You know, change the subject line, change the message that's going to come through as an email to me. But I can also choose to have this sent automatically to the person who submits that form. So I might want to give them form results. I might just want to say, thank you for submitting this. So you can do that with Typeform. You can't with a lot of other forms. Under your settings, you've just got general, you know, do you want to show the progress bar? And if so, do you want to do it by proportion or percentage? Do you want to redirect them at the end of the form to a web page or something? You can turn off Typeform branding if you're on certain plans. So you've got your basically your settings under here, and everything is customizable in Typeform. You can also close Typeform to new responses. So if you're doing a survey or you're doing a pre-sale, you could have this enabled, and you could customize this message. So pre-sales are over, right? And whatever the next step is that you want them to do, or the survey is now finished, please follow us on Instagram. You can also schedule this to close on a date. You can schedule that date in here as the date that this Typeform will not accept any more responses or payments. Maybe you're doing a week-long donation option. You could, you know, something like this would come in really handy. You can also set a response limit. So if you only want to do 20 pre-sales, you could set that response limit, and once those 20 are hit, no more, this Typeform won't accept anymore. And then here's your custom closed message. So once it closes, either by a schedule or response limit or manually, then you can add your own message here, and even add an image if you want to. What else does it have here? Yeah, that's just the customized message. So there's a ton of options on this part alone for pre-sales, surveys, anything like that. So that's sort of your left-hand side here. Now, as you can see up here, I've named this one test donation. So this would be if I wanted to drop this on a sales page and let them pay by donation. What I would do is I just put in the 2 questions that I would want in here automatically. But this Typeform here basically just says, let's go to view here and we'll have a look at it. And again, this isn't branded or anything, so I'm just showing you how it would work. So how much would you like to pay for this course? Please type in the dollar figure without the $sign. So I want to pay $24. Click OK. Now this automatically picks it up. You are about to donate $24. Your credit card will be charged. You know, you could say thank you for your donation. This is your own piece here. So thank you for your donation. Your credit card will be charged $24. We never store your credit card. And so we put in here our information. So name on card, whoop, submit and pay $24. One answer needs completing. I probably didn't configure this right because I just set this up here. But you get the idea. I probably need to go back and configure this properly. But this would allow you to take donations. And then when someone submits this, you could have it so that you could either send a message to them. So email notifications, respondent notifications. Now I'd have to get their email for this, obviously. I'd want to add an email question. Here, what's your email? So now I can send a custom response to respondents, and it's going to send the email notification to this person here. And I'm going to put in something like, thank you for your donation, right? And then I could create a 100% coupon code in Thinkific and say, hi, and then I'd pull the name out of the questions here. I'd ask for their name, so I could put their name in here. So hi name. Thank you for your donation. Please click this link to set up your account, and get started with the blah, 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 blah course. Thanks. So basically, as soon as they make a donation, you just create a free coupon link and you insert it in here. So as soon as they donate, they get this email here, and you could even redirect them to the sales page if you want with the coupon link, so they could automatically enroll in the course for free. Well, for free for their donation, right? So that's how you would set up donations. It's really, really easy to do, and it would allow you to accomplish that if you wanted to do a donation week. Okay, so that's one of the forms. This other form here, pay what you can webinars. Perfect, great idea, Karen. You could do that all through Typeform. You could even have a custom page on your Thinkific site, which has the Typeform embedded in it, or you could just send them to the Typeform. Like the Typeform can be standalone as well. So let me show you inactive forms. Let's just go to this course evaluation. Is Typeform pricey? No, I don't think it's pricey for all that it can do. I'm one of their partners, so I'm on a really sweet plan. But before that happened, up until 6 months ago, I think I paid $35 US a month. So, $45 Canadian. But you run a few webinars or even one webinar a month, and you can easily make that up. I think the trick is to find multiple scenarios you can use for this that is going to either bring in more revenue or convert more of your current revenue, right? So that's how I always think of it. I don't necessarily think of what is it going to cost me. I think of what is the return on investment going to be for this. So if I could run a donation webinar and I knew I was going to make $2,000, $3,000 of it, and you do that once a month, this is a no-brainer for $45 a month for me. And that's just one use case. So you've got to look at the return on investment when you're looking at any kind of software. Don't look at the cost, look at the return on investment and what you can use it for, because that's really what matters. So this is a course evaluation. So something that Typeform has, and one of the reasons I love it so much, is that it can do hidden fields. So in our courses, I don't like to ask people for their name and email in a course evaluation because they've already created an account on my Thinkific site. So let's look at, I might have it on this course. Let's look at this course here. So Typeform allows you to in some scenarios, and with Thinkific, it can do this. It allows you to put in hidden fields, which will pull their name and email automatically from whatever they use to set up their account, their Thinkific account on your site. So I don't want to ask them again for their name and email. I want it to pull that automatically. So the way that I do that is I put in hidden fields up here. So these are just when you click here, you can put in, I already put in hidden, hidden fields. I already used it once, so I can't use it again. But basically you choose hidden fields and you say, I want to use their first name and their email. That's the information I want. I don't want to ask them for that. And the reason for that, and I'll go back to this in a second to show you, but the reason for that is when they get to the course evaluation, I want to say, congratulations, Kim. I don't just want to say congratulations. So let's go here. There we go. So look, congratulations, Kim. So it's automatically pulling the first name of your student here, which makes it way more personalized. And you can do this in any type form. So if you have an interactive activity, you could say, hey, Kim, which is the best one that you would choose for this scenario? You can use that throughout your type form if you're using this hidden fields feature, okay? So basically how it works on the back end is you set up your type form using these hidden fields here. So in my case, I want first name and email. And I want email because I want to send the respondent a message. So I say, congratulations, hidden field, you've completed the course. And then I ask them to, fill out the type form, to work through the type form. So once I've got that type form set up, it gives me, if I'm using hidden fields, it gives me this URL here. I then take that URL and go over to my course and I create a multimedia lesson and I drop that in here like this. So where it says, let me see here. So where it says, basically, here's the type form, right? And then it says question mark, first underscore name equals XXXX. What I do in Thinkific is I use these variables here. So here's the type form, right? Question mark, first name equals, and then I put the variable in here as Thinkific gives it to me. And so then the type form will pull that information from Thinkific because I'm using this URL as a multimedia lesson and I'm clicking this box that says add dynamic variables to the URL. So it's really easy to do. You basically take this here, put it in as a multimedia lesson, use these variables here, and it'll pull that information. So this is a scenario where you might want to use your logic jump. So in this case, because I've just quickly created this here, my logic jump, I haven't created a logic jump. But let's say based on, let's actually go to something that has a logic jump here. So on the left-hand side here is where I'm going to add my questions, right? Here's the survey over here. I can click on test logic jump if I want and test it that way. But to set this up, basically you say, this is the logic jump here. So on any question, we can logic jump. So I'm going to click on logic jump here. When someone answers question 1, which is this one here, and the answer is option A, I want to then jump them through to this second question. When someone answers with getting fit and toned, I want to take them to the 6th question. And when someone answers healthy living, I want to take them to the 7th question. So I can jump them around based on their answers because that's the point of an interactive form. It's not static. I could say if they answer scenario A, take them to this part of the type form that has this video that talks about this. So it's very much choose your own adventure. So for the course evaluation, I might use the calculator option for this one here because let's go down to the question. So here's our question here, right? And you can do multiple choice, phone number, short text, long text, statement, picture choice, yes or no, email, opinion scale, rating, date, drop down, a legal. So this might be a terms and conditions. You can ask them to upload a file, make a payment, put in their website. Any of those things are options as questions on the type form. So I've set up this question here. I can say this is required. I can say I want to add a description, which just lets me add a little description in here. I can add recall information. So I might want to say, have you finished setting up and testing all the done for you automations? And then I might want to put in Kim. So I'm going to add the hidden field, the first name. And as you can see, it adds it right here. I can add an image here. I can add a video URL. So if I want to add a video URL, the video has to be on YouTube or Vimeo. That's where it's hosted. And then you drop it into the Typeform. So let's just grab a YouTube video and drop it in here. Grab this. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back here and I say, I want to add this video. So then it adds this video here. So this is how you do your scenario type questions, right? I can say if it's multiple choice, I can do multiple selections. That could be, you know, I could have them choose 2, unlimited, etc. I can randomize the questions. I can do the other option if I want, vertical alignment. So most of the question settings have these same options here. Some have a few differences, but let's go, right? So here's the first question. This is where I've dropped the video in. You can, you know, they play the video and then they choose their options down here. And then based on their answer, you would take them to a different part of the Typeform.